think good morning. Okay, I see you. Good afternoon. I think I'm live on Facebook now, and Instagram has decided to be interesting about it this morning. I'm Hank Philippi Ryan here live on Facebook for First Chapter Fun today, episode number 125. First chapter fun, but we are still dealing with Instagram now. You'd think that after all this time, do you see that now? After all this time that we would have this down pat, but no, Instagram is not letting me do this now. Why not? Are you here? Hi, Lynn. Thank you so much for saying that we're live here on Facebook. I'm battling Instagram right now, and I think it knows what I want to do, but yet it is not letting me do that in any way. Let's see here. It wants to make me have all kinds of no, it wants to make me have all kinds of different looks on Instagram. We will battle this. We will battle this. You'd think, hello, good morning to you all on Facebook. You'd think that after all these 125 episodes of First Chapter Fun every week, that the technology would work the same way every time. So now I'm going to, but it is not. So Instagram continues to be a nemesis here. So I'm going to try it one more time. Will it let me do it this time? No, it will not. Now that's quite interesting here. X, no, live, yes, go. And here we are. I want you to see that I think that I have now conquered Instagram, and it is letting me go live here on Instagram and here on Facebook. And you have now been with me, Lynn and Shannon and Carla and Susan and Brenda and Katla and Deborah and Jennifer Chow. Um, we are all here now finally. And yes, Glennie and Margaret, you are now here on Instagram because I, Hank Philippi Ryan, have successfully battled the technology here on Instagram and here on Facebook to bring you episode 125 of First Chapter Fun. You know that Hannah Mary McKinnon and I will battle technology to the end if it allows us to bring you a yet another wonderful first chapter. So here we are. It's Thursday. I'm in Boston. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Hannah. Yes, Hannah. I just battled Instagram to get live on Instagram. It was quite the struggle. Anyway, Lisa is here and Shanson is here. Jennifer Chow, hooray, welcome, welcome, welcome. And we are so pleased to be here today to read you. Oh, Instagram seems to be paused due to a poor connection, and it alleges that it is reconnecting. You know, this does give us a chance to, if this kind of thing happens, which it does from time to time, as you can well see, if you are watching on Instagram, it says reconnecting, and we will let it do that. Diane, I see that you're on Instagram. Are you seeing me live on Instagram now? We are about to have some fun with technology this morning, this Thursday, here on First Chapter Fun, as I attempted to say before technology got me. This is Hank Philippi Ryan with episode number 125 of First Chapter Fun, where every Tuesday and Thursday at 12:30 p.m., Hannah Mary McKinnon and I, the fabulous best-selling author Hannah Mary McKinnon and I, my dear partner in fictional crime, read to you the first chapter of a wonderful new book here on Facebook and on Frozen Instagram. And Glennie is saying Frozen on IG. Yes, indeed. I'm going to try that one more time. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to see if it goes live again. It says I am. Isn't this fun, you all? Just sort of dealing with technology with Hank and Hannah. That is one of the best things of the day, but we will persevere. It says we are live on Instagram now and here on and here on Facebook. I love that you're all with me. Shannon is saying I prefer Facebook for this. Well, sometimes Facebook is a little more reliable, but who knows how many billions of people are trying to do things on Instagram right now, and who knows what happens. And Jennifer Chow is here today, and we are so pleased to read you from her Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines, an adorable, hysterical, as she says, perfect cat cozy. Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines. So how are you? I think we may be going well here today. You know, you never know with these kinds of things how we're going to manage or what we're going to do or who's going to get their allergy today, because I just saw right here on my desk, this is my allergy pill that I'm supposed to take this morning, which I did not. So who knows what will happen. Anyway, welcome. I'm Hank Philippi Ryan. This is First Chapter Fun. We are reading Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines by Jennifer Chow, which does allow us to talk just a tiny bit about cats. Do you have cats? Did you love cats when you were growing up? Do you have them now? I could not have made it through, my 20s and 30s and 40s without my cats. I had Lola, who I adopted from the Humane Society in Atlanta when she was so tiny. Lola was so tiny that she couldn't go up a step. She couldn't put her front paws on the top step and her lower paws on the bottom step. She was too small. Instagram is now saying I'm not broadcasting anymore on Instagram. Instagram, you are giving us trouble today. Let me try that one more time. And you all on Facebook, persevere, persevere. We will do it. I think Instagram is failing us now. Okay, Hannah, it's just not letting me on. Hannah and I persevere through these things for you, but at some point we need to just forget about it, and we will put up a video on Instagram. You trust us, Jennifer Chow. We will do that for you. So I think what we're going to do is just boot. Instagram has booted us, and we are now going to forget about that. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to take this away and not even try to do it. And we will go on Instagram. We will go on Instagram later. Hannah, if you could put on Instagram that we are trying to go live and failing miserably, and we will put up our First Chapter Fun reading when the time comes, because I don't want to take away from the adorable Jennifer Chow. Yes, so you're telling me about your cats. My cat, Shannon says, my cat right now is walking around the house. He doesn't want to join me. Lisa says, we had a cat growing up. Put her cat. That cat went to her grave with so many secrets. Yes, and it's interesting because, and Brenda's saying, I'm not a cat person, but I won't hold that against you or the book. No, this book will make you love cats, Marshmallow, at least. And Ali is saying, I have a very senior cat. She is my first pet with legs. Yeah, I had Lola, and as I said, she was so tiny. She couldn't even go up a step. And I do think that she and I had this kind of amazing psychic connection. I would do the blink with her. Do you know about the cat blink? That if you blink slowly at a cat and look right at them, they will blink back to you. Have you done that before? Anissa is here on Facebook. That is great. And Beth is saying, not a cat lover either, but always likes a book with a cat, especially in a library. And Cat Law is saying, my cat Puck is currently sleeping right next to me. That is the sweetest thing ever, when your cat curls up cozily next to you and purrs, and it's just so reassuring and so adorable. And Lola, yes, her name was Lola because whatever she wanted, she got. She was a fantastic cat. Once I went on vacation for 2 weeks. I went to Paris for 2 weeks and left her with a cat sitter at my apartment. And when I got back, she looked at me like the angriest I have ever seen a cat look. And she was a tortoiseshell. And she had sort of turned gray with sorrow and grief that I was gone. So she and I knew each other from the time she was just maybe a month old, could that possibly be? And she died when she was 20. And I was right there with her, and it was so sad. And I still dream about Lola. She talks to me, and she says, and she reminds me that she's okay. So Gabriel Valjean is here. Gabriel and Munchkin are here. And Shannon is saying, Jennifer is saying, I've heard that blinking is like smiling for a cat. Honestly, if you have not tried it, we had a stray cat outside our house the other week, and I blinked at her, and she looked at me like, what? And then I did it again, and she blinked back. So honestly, try it. It's so interesting. Deborah is saying, I never had a cat because she's allergic. Yeah, my husband is allergic to cats too. And when I first met Jonathan, and he would come over to the apartment, Lola knew that Jonathan was allergic to him and would just cling to him. Lola didn't like anyone except for me. I mean, Lola loved me beyond all love, and everyone else she just ignored. But when Jonathan came, and she completely clung to him, it was hilarious. And I do think it was not only because she knew he was perfect, but also because she knew he was allergic to cats, and that was how she would drive him crazy. So let me tell you, Cat Law is saying, I've had Puck since he was 6 weeks old. He gets very mad at me when I go out of town too. Does he get into your suitcase? When I would open my suitcase, Lola would immediately get into the suitcase as if she wanted me to take her with me, or as if she was telling me, don't even think about putting anything in this suitcase and going away. Helene is saying, Helene Mario, whose book we're reading coming up soon, is saying, I wonder if blinking works for husbands. Try it. Try it. I mean, you know, it can't really hurt. So we are so pleased that you are here today. If you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so thrilled to have new people come to First Chapter Fun, and I know you're veterans like Nancy and Lisa and Cat Law and Allie and Deborah and Lisa and Nancy are bringing new people along, and we are incredibly grateful for that. So right here is where every Tuesday and Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Hannah Mary McKinnon and I read the first chapter of a new book out loud. And today we have had some technical difficulties and we are not on Instagram, but we promise we will post a video to Instagram so everybody can hear the first chapter of Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines by Jennifer Chow. I wonder if something is happening throughout Instagram world that we will learn later as we get off the air. Nancy is saying that Lola was trying to get rid of Jonathan. Well, possibly that's possible. Judy's saying, when I visit someone with a cat, the animal inevitably will end up in my lap. Yep, I see. Don't you think they totally know? They totally know. This is just a cat thing. So let me tell you a little bit. So as I said, we're not on Instagram right now. Instagram has booted us, and I wonder if they've booted everyone, but we will post this later as we always do, and we are here on Facebook where all of our episodes of First Chapter Fun are stored in the video section in media, so you can watch every single one of the 125 so far and going strong, amazingly so, first chapters. So welcome all of you today, and are you ready to hear about the fabulous Jennifer Chow and her Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines? Before I read, however, I do want to tell you that Hannah Mary McKinnon, our darling leader, Hannah Mary McKinnon, and the fabulous friend of First Chapter Fund, Ed Amar, are going to be at Belmont Books in Belmont, Massachusetts tonight via the fabulous Zoom. So go to belmontbooks.com, and register for this event. I'm going to be there, and I hope all of you will be there. It'll be so much fun to support Hannah, talking about her wonderful book, Sister Dear, and also Ed Amar with his new book, which we also read here on First Chapter Fun. So maybe we'll see each other tonight. That would be great, and we can all cheer Hannah on or heckle her right from the audience. So we'll see. But tonight, belmontbooks.com. It's a wonderful independent bookstore near me in Belmont, Massachusetts. And you know, supporting independent bookstores is something that Hannah and I feel very strongly about. They were here before this horrible pandemic, and we have to make sure that they are here afterward. We need to support them. And so Belmont Books is a wonderful place to go. And Hannah's saying she's so excited about tonight. Gabriel says, Ed has a man cold and he's telling the world to. Oh, is he miserable and he'll never be okay? Yeah, this is what my husband does when he has a cold. And he won't take medicine because he says the medicine makes it be worse. So sure, that's exactly why they have medicine. And Lisa's saying, oh, I would love to heckle Hannah. All right, so we'll plan that, Lisa. We'll plan that. So let me tell you a little bit about Jennifer Chow. Jennifer Chow, who is here now on Facebook and was on Instagram until we got unceremoniously booted out. Jennifer Chow is the author of the hiss-terical Sassy Cat Mysteries, the Winston Wong cozies, Butterfly Dreams, and the 228 Legacy. She lives in Los Angeles, where she hunts for all things matcha. So in the comments, you can ask her about that. She will be here to answer all of your questions in the comment. Grace is saying she signed up. Ed says he is going to torment you. No one torments like Ed Amar, but we can handle that, right? We can torment him right back. So please, Beth, do come and check it out. It'll be fun. It'll be a wonderful event tonight, 7 o'clock, Belmont Books. You can register at belmontbooks.com. And I will be there, and I hope you will be there too. But I promise I won't heckle. Just like Instagram promised it wouldn't heckle us today, and then it did. So let me tell you, here's a little bit about Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines, which we are reading today with the kind permission of the author Jennifer J. Chow, and also with Berkley Publishing, who publishes so many wonderful cozy mysteries like Mimi Lee. This is a cat cozy, and you will love it like crazy. It's part of a series, but they're really fun to read in any order. So it doesn't really matter what order you read the Sassy Cat Mysteries in, and Jennifer beautifully tells you just a tiny little bit about what happened in a previous book, but doesn't give anything away. So you don't really have to read them in order. And the fabulous Hannah has put up a link now to tonight's event. So go sign up, not right now, you know this, but after the reading is over. And we will all get together again tonight to hear Hannah and Ed Amar at Belmont Books. So much fun. So let me tell you a little bit about Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines. When a local teacher is found dead, LA's newest pet groomer, Mimi Lee, finds herself in a pawful predicament with her younger sister's livelihood on the line. Mimi Lee is on top of the world. She has a thriving pet grooming business, the sweetest boyfriend, and a talking cat to boot. When she arrives at the elementary school where her sister Alice works, she's expecting a fun night out, but instead finds a teacher slumped over in her car, dead. Alice was the last one to see the teacher, Helen Reed, which instantly marks her as the prime suspect. Unable to sit quietly and let the authorities walk all over her sister, Mimi starts snooping and talks to Helen's closest contacts, including one jumpy principal, a two-faced fiancé, and 3 sketchy teachers. With the help of her sassy but savvy cat Marshmallow and a cute kitten named Nimbus, the clock's ticking for Mimi to get to the bottom of yet another case before her sister gets schooled. And you can find Jennifer Chow at her website, Jennifer J. Chow, jenniferjchow.com. And on Twitter at Jen J. Chow and Instagram at Jen J. Chow. Please find her everywhere. Yeah, Madonna's saying strange internet here too. Yeah, good. Thanks, Madonna. Is it Madonna or Madonna? We were together last night in Ottawa via Zoom. I taught a class to Sisters in Crime chapter in Ottawa about great beginnings of books. So thank you. And I told everyone to come here today, or encourage them to at least. So Madonna, I'm very glad to see you here today. Margaret's saying, finally found you, messy internet today. Yeah, it is kind of weird out there on the internet today, but what else is new? It's weird everywhere. And Hannah's saying the cat puns already have me laughing. Yeah, the cat puns. I tried to stay away from cat puns. You know, how many perfect cat puns can you come up with? Why don't you tell us all in the comments? But I will now read you. And Jennifer's saying her Facebook author page is at Jennifer J. Chow author. So please find her there and like her there and follow her there. So here is most of the first chapter of the adorable and perfectly written and perfectly fun Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines by Jennifer J. Chow. Beth is saying her internet has been slow all day, and Kimber the book nerd, Kimberly Muscle is saying, I love everything cats. Well, you will love Mimi Lee, and Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines. So here is chapter 1 of Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines. I took an Uber to see Alice because, let's face it, the countdown to Valentine's Day sucked for singles. I knew so from experience. Cupid had kept missing the mark all through my last 25 birthdays, until I bumped into Josh at my apartment complex's laundry room last fall. For tomorrow's February 14th outing, he had planned a special surprise for us, and I couldn't wait to cuddle up with my favorite Los Angeles lawyer. But today would be about my younger, single sister, Alice. I'd had to close up my pet grooming store early, and the Uber driver dropped me off around 4 at Roosevelt Elementary with its storybook red brick construction. Despite the conservative look, it still had all the usual California exterior hallways with interconnected classrooms, the better to appreciate the good weather in the area. I saluted both the state flag and the Star-Spangled Banner, which waved at me from their respective steel poles as I marched up the stone steps into the school office. I didn't see anyone behind the desk piled high with colorful flyers or after-school activities. The receptionist must have already left for the day. Maybe she'd had pre-Valentine plans. Alice and I had a tradition of doing a sister date to protest the annual lovers' holiday. However, since I actually had plans this year, I moved our usual outing a day ahead. She'd probably been reminded of the occasion after seeing all those paper hearts and sweet candies being exchanged between her students. And in kindergarten, everyone was required to participate, which meant reminders of V-Day multiplied by 25. Maybe Alice had gotten a few misshapen candy hearts and superhero cards, but I bet she wanted treats from someone else besides 5- and 6-year-olds. I heard someone clear their throat from the principal's office. The door was open a few inches, and I could see a flash of blue from within. I wondered what the new head of Roosevelt Elementary was like. Alice seemed to have a much better working relationship with him than his predecessor. The previous principal had suffered from an icy attitude that matched her cold steel furniture. As prickly as her pet hedgehog, she basically bullied Alice and threatened her with a layoff last year. She'd gone so far as to give my sister a pink slip. The principal had even bypassed the newest member of the staff to do so, until I'd stepped in and defended Alice. Where was my sister? She'd had a good time estimate of when I would arrive at her workplace. After all, I'd texted her when I left the apartment where my cat, Marshmallow, had grumbled at me. He'd given me a piece of his mind. Have fun deserting me tonight. I knew exactly what he'd been thinking because we had some sort of telepathic owner-pet connection. The whole mental communication thing had scared me at first. I thought I'd been experiencing some sort of psychotic break. I'd studied such things in college as a psych major. Despite not understanding the science behind it, I'd come to embrace our connection, snark and all. My phone dinged. Alice, are you here already? Me. Yep, waiting in the office. Alice, sorry, writing up a petition to fund the kinder playground. See you in 5. I heard loud steps coming my way and looked up to find a black man in his 60s wearing a navy blue dress shirt, striped tie, and tailored slacks. He appeared about twice my size, though that wasn't too difficult given my petite stature. Gesturing at my phone, he said, I heard it ring and figured I should introduce myself. He peered at me through thick-framed bifocals. Are you related to Alice? I nodded. I'm her older sister, Mimi. He grinned at me. You two are practically twins. We get that a lot. My sister and I did look alike. We both had the same 5-foot frame and shared features such as oval faces, elfin ears, and small button noses. However, I tried and failed to tame my shoulder-length hair, while Alice managed a sleek bob. I'm Principal Lewis, the man said. I extended my hand to him at the same time as he stepped forward and gave me a half hug. A surprising gesture from someone I'd just met, but he seemed genuinely happy to see me. You're definitely friendlier than Principal Hallis was. I'd nicknamed the old administrator Principal Hellish in private. Well, I do like to put the word pal in principal. He gave a small chuckle. I see that. No wonder he and Alice got along. They both exuded warm vibes. I want my staff to feel connected to me. He twisted the gold band on his left ring finger, as if they were part of my extended family. What an intense statement. At least he wasn't a horrific boss. I'd rather have a manager landing on the extreme side of nice. However, I definitely liked being my own boss and running my pet grooming salon where I made up my own easy work schedule of 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I had no one else to answer to, except maybe Pixie St. James, who had gifted me the investment money. It had been a very willing donation on her part after I'd rescued her poor Shih Tzu from the churning waves near Catalina Island. The side door to the school office opened and Alice rushed in. Sorry to keep you waiting, she said. A heavy book bag, no doubt stuffed with student projects, weighed down her left shoulder. Every teacher I knew had homework, just like their kids. She did a double take on seeing my company. Principal Lewis, she said, did you meet my sister Mimi? Yes, and she's wonderful, just like you. He turned to Alice and gave her a brief hug. Alice didn't seem fazed by the quick embrace. Maybe because Dad also loved giving us giant bear cub hugs, even now after we'd grown up. Alice smiled at him, then she checked her wristwatch. We'd better get going, she said. Shouldn't you leave too, Principal Lewis? Don't you need to get things ready for your Valentine's date with your wife tomorrow? He hazarded a glance at the wall clock. You're right. I need to go over my plan for the all-day extravaganza. Touching his close-cropped salt and pepper hair, he said, we can do that now that our kids are all adults with cuddly cute babies of their own. I'm starting the day with a scavenger hunt on the beach. Alice gave him a thumbs up. We said goodbye to the principal and headed to the staff parking lot. Once there, Alice said, That's odd. Helen's car is still around. Who's Helen? I didn't remember my sister mentioning her before. She's the newest member of the staff, and that's her car. Alice pointed to a white Prius C, unfortunately marked with bird droppings, a few paces away. A car woman after my own heart, I thought, although I'd opted for the larger size of the popular hybrid. Wait, is that the same teacher Principal Hallis kept on while threatening you with a pink slip last year? Alice closed her eyes for a moment. That's right, she said. You're actually friends with her? I'm trying, but Helen's really reserved. No doubt my sister would be able to get chummy with someone aloof. Alice's temperament was pure sunshine. She frowned, though. I thought she already left campus. I gestured to Alice's heavy bag. Maybe she's doing some paperwork in her classroom. As we crossed behind Helen's car, a poof of gray fluff caught my eye from below the undercarriage of Helen's Prius C. I paused, but Alice kept walking. I crouched down to peek underneath the car, but couldn't see anything in the shadows. Had I imagined an animal? Straightening back up, I noticed something else looked off. The vehicle was occupied, but the figure in the driver's seat was slouched in a weird position. Alice finally noticed that I wasn't beside her and turned around. Everything okay? Odd, I said, peering through the window. The driver's head lolled at an uncomfortable angle. My breath left me. My sister backtracked to my side and said, What? Is something in there? She moved around me and took a closer look. Alice screamed. Okay, is that a good way to start a cozy or what? Do we know? I mean, think of how much we know just from what is said in this. We know that the sisters are good pals, that our wonderful Mimi Lee loves her sister Alice and takes care of her. We know that Principal is just a little bit off, right? We wouldn't like that so much. We know that the receptionist is not there. We know that Alice has something in her bag, and we know that Mimi Lee saw something fluffy and gray underneath the car. We also know that whoever's in that Prius C is not in good shape. and what will happen next. And that is Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines by Jennifer J. Chow. And just that little bit we know that Mimi Lee and her cat Marshmallow have this psychic connection, right? That I do think many cat owners and dog owners, but cat owners kind of especially maybe, have with their cats, that kind of mystical connection and way of communication. So again, that is Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines, and Beth is saying, sounds like a must-read cozy to me. Good. Grace is saying, loved the sister dynamic. Gabriel Valjean is saying, loved it, brava. Madonna is saying, what a great opening. Yes, it does draw you. It does draw you right in. And it's interesting, we were talking last night in the class about what makes a great opening, and this is definitely draws you right in with character, action, stakes, setting, and tone. Everything we talked about last night is all in there. Judy saying great beginning. Jennifer saying great reading, Hank. Oh my goodness, thank you. You know, it's so terrifying to have the responsibility of reading an author's book, especially an author we love like Jennifer Chow. So thank you so much for entrusting it to us. We love reading this. So next Tuesday, as we say, and now for something completely different. We have a Margaret saying, I love the change of pace from the detailed background to the abrupt Alice screamed. Yes, I agree with you. That is really well done and just stops you in your tracks and makes you keep going at the same time. So that is wonderful. So Tuesday, a really different kind of book. This is a thriller, a psychological suspense thriller called After Elias. Can you see that cover? By Eddie Boudel Tan. Look how subtle and gorgeous that is. And I hope you can see that that is the shadow of a plane on what looks like a beach with ocean and sand underneath. It's gorgeously artistic and very, very subtle. And this book by Eddie Tan is so thought-provoking and gorgeous and heartbreaking and wrenching and suspenseful and surprising. So we hope that you will be here Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. ET. Please join Hannah Mary McKinnon and please join me for what will be episode number 126. Thanks to you, wonderful people. 126 episodes of First Chapter Fun and growing and going and growing strong and going strong. And until then, on Tuesday, please stay safe, stay kind, and we will see you Tuesday. Love you.